I think I might be going through a phase of transformation, spiritual transformation, and it's damn uncomfortable, but I like it. Because even with this discomfort, the kind of things that I'm uncovering about myself, the kind of things that I'm learning about myself, it's amazing. I did not know I was this person. I had forgotten who the real person within me was, who my real self was. I had put on so many masks of performance for the society. I had a mask for my office, a mask for my family, a mask for my friends, and under all those masks, I had completely forgotten that there was someone, and I've tried to make those masks, and especially the ideal mask, my personality for so long. But clearly it's not happening because I'm not that ideal person. I have my flaws. I come with my own shortcomings, and I've been trying so hard to ignore my shortcomings, to just pretend like I don't have any flaws, I don't have any shortcomings. But I'm only human. I'm supposed to have flaws. I'm supposed to have shortcomings. And it's fine. I'm not a bad person. I'm still ethical and I can still have some flaws. It's fine. I don't have to be 100% perfect at whatever I'm doing. It's okay if even if I'm like 60% perfect at it, as long as I tried. Engineering gives degrees if you score more than 40-45%, right? So it's not like you have to know the 100% of the syllabus to become an engineer. You can still become an engineer even with 40%. I don't know why I started this. Wow. So one thing I don't know how to work on is me just randomly zoning out in the middle of the conversations. I need to fix this ASAP because I've got bigger plans for the future. I really have bigger plans now. And it's a little scary because the bigger the plan, the bigger the risk. And I've only taken smaller risks before. Well, not exactly. I mean, I have taken like pretty large risks in my life. So let me take that back. Fine. I have taken some risks in my life before. And so I feel like maybe that's why I'm scared of taking another risk, because it might not work out again and I might lose again, and then I might not want to get out of my room or my bed for like years. So that's causing a little bit of fear within me. But if I don't try, and if I live this current life that I'm living, that's so scary. I can't do this. I can't live this life. It has to change. I I don't have to change. I have to find myself. But this life has to change, and this life will only change if I work on myself, do all the unlearning and learning. I Gosh, I've learned some horrible things growing up based on whatever experiences that shaped me and made me the person I am today. Some experiences were great. I was loved, I was cared for, I was always prioritized. Sure, they were good experiences and they shaped me, but there were also bad experiences. I had relatives who, anyway, I have bad experiences too, and they have also shaped me. So I am what I am today because of all of those experiences. And if I have certain repressed emotions within me, those are probably being driven by those bad experiences within me, within my past. And so if I want to get out of this state of internal conflict, I need to unlearn whatever I learned because of those traumatic experiences, okay? Like whatever trauma happened in my life, I learned a couple of things and I started practicing them in my life. And they worked for me for quite some time. They were working for me. But a lot of them are not serving me anymore. For instance, This whole abandonment complex that I carry within myself, it was a trauma response. I had to figure out when somebody was not okay with what I was saying or what I was doing, and I had to modify my behavior as per that, just to make sure they don't leave, they don't abandon me. These were important people in my life. And so that's where I learned that if you want people to be with you, you have to act a certain way. You have to be palatable to them specifically, individually. You have to put on acts and do stuff that makes them want to stay. But that was when I was a kid. That was when I needed people even to survive. Something as basic as survival, something as basic as food and clothing. I was dependent on others, and so it was important for me to make sure that I was not abandoned. But I'm an adult now. I'm a financially independent adult now. So if somebody doesn't like me and somebody abandons me, it does not threaten my survival. I can still survive. I can still feed myself. I can still clothe myself. So now I have to change this trauma response. Whatever I learned, I have to unlearn it. So that's one example of what I'm talking about. I'm getting into this dark night of the soul where all I do now these days is just sit quietly and just keep on thinking and rethinking, replaying things in my head and trying to understand the meaning out of it, of why it happened, of how it shaped me, of how I can let go of a couple of things that it also added to my life that are not serving me anymore, and so on and so forth. And it's, of course, it's exhausting. It's not easy going back 20-25 years ago and trying to correct your interpretation of certain events, but I'm trying, and I think it's kind of helping also. I have in my head forgiven some people, and I don't know if it helps or not, but I've definitely done that and I've moved on. I think I've moved on from these events. I think the next person I meet will probably not even know about these events now, because they don't matter anymore. They're in the past, they're done. That chapter is closed, and I do not need to revisit it. And in order for me to get close to someone, I don't need to share these events anymore, because they do not define me right now. They don't define who I am today. And so I don't need to give them the context of these events anymore. So